Welcome back, troglodytes, to the Trogly's Guitar Show. Today we have a beautiful 1976 Les Paul Standard in wine red. Now unfortunately, I'm not keeping this one. It won't be for sale by me. Once again, we have another twisted neck and a seller that doesn't know how to describe a guitar. The last video that I made on a twisted neck Les Paul got a lot of views, and I got a lot of hate comments saying that I was in the wrong for returning a guitar that had a twisted neck that wasn't disclosed. I still don't quite understand those people's perspective. I think if you order something that's perfectly functional with no issues, it should arrive exactly as described. Now I get it, when you're buying a used guitar online, yes, there's going to be a little bit more wear than the photos usually show. However, if somebody only has 4 or 5 photos of a guitar and they say it's very good condition and you can't see anything wrong in the photos, you're naturally going to think, well, either they're trying to pull one over on you or it really is in very good condition. I do have a few qualms about the condition of this guitar since it was described as very good, but the main reason why I'm not keeping this one is the twisted neck. If you are honest that your neck is twisted, nobody will buy the guitar online. Now in reality, in person, this guitar still plays just fine. But you have to disclose the twist in the neck, because if you don't, you're cheating somebody. It's because it's likely that that twist will eventually need to be corrected one day with a refret and they have to replane the fretboard. So this is a 1976 Les Paul Standard. 76 is one of the last years that you'll see a pancake body. You can find some in 77, but generally 76 is the cutoff point. And a pancake body is basically a mahogany, small strip of maple, mahogany sandwich. Also, 75 is the transition year, but by 76, most Les Pauls do have the maple neck now, and they have the vol loop, but they've had that since 69. This one has a 3-piece maple top and a rosewood fretboard. Now 70s standards, all stock, will have T-top pickups. This one appears to have something similar to that. I'm not 100% sure if these are actually the original pickups to this guitar. They're kind of era correct. All of the wiring has been replaced. This one also has an ABR1 bridge on it, but this is a Japanese made one that is sitting on the original posts. That is something else that changed in the mid-70s, is the transition to the new Nashville style bridge. Something else unique about having a 76 Standard is this is one of the first years where the Standard actually returned to the lineup. Up until this point, Gibson really only had something called a Deluxe, which looked pretty much the same except for it had mini humbuckers. Now there are a few custom factory ordered Deluxe Standards. However, this is like one of the first years where they actually had factory issued as a massive run for humbucker pickups. So that kind of makes these early standards a little bit special. These were made before they weight relieved these guys, and it weighs 10 pounds, 9 ounces, and has a 60 slim neck profile. So let's go ahead and look at the condition of this guitar, and you tell me, do you think this classifies as very good condition? Alright, face of the headstock here, you can see you have a plethora of string change scratches and general wear and tear. One area to make note of is there's a little bit of a finish discoloration right here. I'm not quite sure what that is. We'll have to look at it under blacklight. And just so you know, my fingers are black because I was changing the printer ink. So your general string change wear, but you still have the original tuners. Your first E string here, it's not too bent. You can see it turns pretty much like normal. Your D string, it's got a little bit of a bend and it's hard to turn a little bit right here. Now your D string is pretty badly bent. You can see how it's twirling a little bit weird. Now your G string, it's got a little bit of the same type of twist as this string did. B string and E. So it's mainly your top two that are kind of bent and out of shape. You can really see it right there. They do still function, but that should be noted. You can see the top of the standard truss rod cover here is cracked off. I honestly didn't even check the truss rod on this one because once I saw the twisted neck, I knew it was going back. Now the frets are in good shape. They do show some very light wear, but for the most part, definitely still a playable guitar. Again, just because there's a twist in the neck doesn't mean it's a bad guitar. It just means I wouldn't suggest buying one online. These are kind of a have to see it in person type deal to make sure that the twist is still playable, because sometimes these twists can make these guitars buzz like crazy. This one's not too bad, but the twist could potentially get worse over the years. Now the top of the guitar here, you can see you've got quite a few nicks and dings and scratches, but you do have some decent figuring in the top on a few of these pieces, especially this outer edge one. The middle, not so much, and a little bit on this one. But again, lots of light nicks and dings. This was definitely somebody's player. It's probably been stored in a few cold trunks over the years, or in hot bars and gigs, and that's probably what made the neck develop some sort of a twist over the years. Again, the pickups in here appear to be original, but definitely have been taken out at one point in time. The entire guitar has been rewired with new pots and caps. They're the new Gibson branded versions. The bridge has been replaced, but it's on the original studs. The tailpiece looked original to me. Back of the guitar here, you can see your serial number is 00235684. Now, you can't use your general serialization to read that because 76 is a special year. You'll see these 76s get listed as 2000s instruments all the time because they see, oh, well, 00235. That makes it 23rd day of 2005, right? No. 00 just means 1976. 06 means 1977, and 99 means 1975. Overall, you've got some light nicks and dings, and a little bit of finished chipping here by the tuners. And you can see this is a 3-piece maple neck. I do want to make sure I point out this large area of missing finish at the top of the wing. And you have pretty extreme rash on this guitar from a stand. It almost looks like it burnt through, almost like a cigarette burn, but it's on both sides, so that must have been a nasty type of rubber stand that just melted the finish, essentially. Now the back of the neck, it has a little bit of wear. You can see some light impressions there, but mainly where it gets bad is up here. It looks like somebody had a ring or a slide, something kind of chewed up the finish a little bit here. Now when you're playing it, do you feel it? Not necessarily. I mean, maybe a little bit if you have your thumb all the way under there, but it really doesn't affect the way you play the guitar, but definitely should be noted because there are a lot of people that are really picky about not wanting any wear on the neck. And I get it. Most people don't want something on their neck that will inhibit their playing. Back of the guitar here is chewed up by buckle rash. This was definitely a player's guitar. There's nothing necessarily wrong with the guitar being in this condition, it was just simply played. On the edges of the guitar, pretty much all over, you can see where a strap has likely worn off the finish on the edges. That's pretty well consistent around the guitar when you're in the strap area. You can see you've got that right there as well as on this side. Now again, this is a pancake body constructed guitar, so you're going to see some light lines that are kind of like finish checking, where the body's slightly delaminating a little bit, but usually they do not separate unless there's water or humidity damage. See, you've got some dings along the sides. Overall, I mean, it's a played guitar. This is player's grade for sure. The strap buttons are also Dunlops. Now we'll take a look under blacklight. You can see that spot I was talking about. That might be a small touch-up of some sort. But everything else on the headstock's looking okay, just your average wear and tear. You can see right there, again, that area of chipped off finish. Body of the guitar, glowing the way it should. Even these knobs look like they're original. This must have been a very small run of knobs, because you don't see these very often. Back of the headstock here, there again you can see the stand rash very clearly, but no breaks, cracks, or repairs to the neck, though you might have to refret this one and plane the fretboard down if you wanted to get the neck to be completely straight again. Back of the guitar, you got a small area of missing finish there, and again, quite a bit of edge wear on this one, mainly from a strap and just where the guitar was resting against the player for all those years. But there again, you can see all that finish wear. I would say it's in good to fair shape. I mean, it's simply a player. It's got a few change parts, mainly the strap buttons, potentially the pickups, but they are error correct. Bridge, rewired. It's simply a player in good shape. This guitar comes in a non-original Gibson chainsaw case. This is a Generation 3 Gibson chainsaw case, and these didn't really come out till around 1980. So unless this guitar sat around in a music store for a few years, this has likely been upgraded over the years. Everything's good on this one. 1, 2, and 3 functioning metal latches. Still have your Gibson logo, and the interior is a nice blue color. They've got decent padding to them. The only thing that's bad about these cases is they're a little bit bulky if you have a large collection to store in them. However, if you only have 1 or 2 guitars, you know, they're perfectly fine. They're actually really good to ship guitars in. Inside here is the original bridge, the Nashville styled one. And besides some of the felt falling in that you can glue back up, it's in pretty good shape. The only bad thing is the hinges no longer support the lid's weight, so it does just kind of flop over. If you think you might be interested in this Gibson Les Paul Standard, I'm sending it back. I don't like to deal with twisted necks, but I'm sure you might be able to find it on Reverb again. Thank you, Trogly's, for tuning in today, and we will catch you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.